With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, it's a rematch from last year's AFC wildcard game, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Charlie Jones now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Gun. Stop. 11. Stop.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And his first look is incomplete. All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk about...
And now off to the races, down the right side. A big play there for Cincinnati. 48 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield.
Here we go.
That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. Shreds him with a stiff arm.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Stop.
Again, it's Mixon. Trucks over him.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon
with career touchdown number 70.
And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either. And it's 7-0. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
No, we change it. Middle.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The Ravens at 7-3 now on the year. And they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense, just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Tucker's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And that flag accepted.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. Throwing is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Mixing up the middle. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Here we go, here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT.
Now Burrow. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Mixon is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. You think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys?
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd down and 9. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals are able to widen their advantage. McPherson on for the point after.
It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Bengals 17, Ravens 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
First and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Back to throw here. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. On the return is Jones. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Burrow.
As this complete to Daniel Bellinger.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Burrow on play action.
The short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Burrow on 3rd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Odafe Oweh with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know After the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Jackson on first down.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
2nd down and 4.
Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson now. Flush to his right.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from 28 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Right back to Dobbins on first.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Play action. It's Jackson. And this will be incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On third down, Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
The Ravens send their punter out now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Jones. Now a hit and a loose football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Channing Tindall, the one who got through to drop him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here.
He's got a man, complete.
He's to the 15.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, 81 yards.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a little floater there is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here's Jackson to throw.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
12.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Bengals. Daniel Bellinger, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Ravens 10.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback. There he goes, right side. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 59 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Jackson here is going to look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup.
Here we go.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right.
Out route pass complete to Bellinger.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
11.
On 2nd down, Burrow.
He's got Bellinger.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give them 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
17 yards.
Here we go.
1st down, Bengals.
An option handoff here to Mixon.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it.
Touchdown!
Daniel Bellinger.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
Ravens 18.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson.
That's caught. It's Flowers.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
90 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Let's get set. 11 MT, take.
Back to Mixon on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 44. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Once again, they run with Mixon.
Down to about the 37.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Now it's Mixon running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, Burrow. That is caught.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football. They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Cincinnati, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile,